Hello all, welcome back to Editorial Analysis and Answer Writing Practice at 9 p.m. Friends, if you're watching this video series for the first time, then please watch my intro video given in the playlist to know how to participate in this answer rating program. The program is open to all. Today will be a discussion day. So in this week, we were discussing 4 editorial topics. Based on that, I gave you 4 questions. We will discuss the answers in today's session. In a single session, we will discuss all the 4 questions. Okay. See, I'm not going to explain the topic here, which I have already done. I will give you brief structuring, then I will show you the best answer. So for this question, subclassification of SC and STs will result in more evil than good. Do you agree? Whether do you agree or not, that we can say in the conclusion. To start with, in the introduction part, you can highlight the context, why this was in news, the recent judgment you can quote. Ultimately, they are trying to ask you whether the subcategorization is going to cause good or it is going to cause bad. So yes, this is going to result in good because of these points, right? You are going to highlight because of subcategorization what all we can achieve, the good things. Then you are going to highlight what evil can happen, what bad can happen by subcategorization. So you are going to highlight that. What good we can achieve because of the subcategorization, what bad. This part many students they did not address it properly. Please go through the answer key, which I'll be pinning it in the comment section to have more clarity. Right, then finally you can conclude. So whether the subclassification is necessary? Yes, it is necessary. Okay, but however, without proper demonstrable, verifiable data, then this will become meaningless. This will cause more evil only. Okay, if without the proper datas. With datas, it is going to, if it is scientifically applied, then it is going to definitely prove good. This can be your conclusion. Many students, they struggled to write a good answer for this question. So with whatever answers I came across, I found Gaushika has addressed the question to some extent fairly. Right, so she started with the recent Supreme Court verdict, good, and she highlighted the benefits of subclassification. Your handwriting is neat, very good. You are underlining the key points that helps me to read the answer quickly. So benefits you have highlighted, very good. Right, then the evil resulting from subclassification. So the evil part also she has addressed rightly. See, for example, without the employment data, how can you say that certain sections of this scheduled caste community are actually not getting benefited? We need data. Without data, it will become meaningless. It can result in negative issues, because now political parties can use this as a tool and they can politicize this issue. They can promise subcategorization. So data is very important. Based on data only we have to do it. So she has addressed it properly. The court reading, just a minute. Okay, judicial overreach, because this interpretation many can interpret. Sometime back court was saying Supreme scheduled caste is a homogeneous group. Now Supreme Court has said no, it is not a homogeneous group. Nothing wrong in the judicial intervention, but sometimes when there is some lack of clarity, and that can result in further interpretations, further cases, further legislations, this can create some problems. Right. So yes, your conclusions also neat, Gaushika. You have addressed the answer well. We will move on to the next question. So measures to prevent the sexual harassment at workplace remains merely a legal formality if they do not address the deeply ingrained cultural and social norms. So comment. Again, this question, many students, I think they were not able to understand the demand of the question. See, we have a legal framework to prevent the sexual harassment, but if the legal framework, if it is not addressing the cultural social norms, because for this sexual harassment, the social cultural norms creates a permissible environment for the men to approach a woman, to sexually harass a woman, to demand sexual favors for opportunities from a woman. How men, without any guilt, without any shame, how he is able to demand or force or harass because the societal norms, the cultural norms has created a permissible environment. So we are coming up with a law. That law should address the cultural social issues. Without addressing that, the law will simply remain as a legal formality. This is what we are going to explain. Okay. So I gave one intro now, right? So that can be your intro as well. So from which you can highlight what are the cultural social norms, which is actually creating an environment for this harassment, and how the laws can address it. Then you can finally conclude some measures. You can highlight and you can conclude. All right. This topic we have discussed in detail in the editorial discussion. So please go through that video once, go through the notes once. We will look into the best answer. Shraddha, this is a 10 marker question. This is a 10 marker question, Shraddha, but you have written for 15 marker. Most of the students have not addressed this question properly. Shraddha, your answer is not so great, but it is okay. Of all those who have written this question, your answer was okay. Again, it's a 10 marker question, but you have written 15 marker content. So keep a note on that. Your intro is fine. Laws are reflection of the society. The cases of rising sexual harassment in India suggest without addressing the cultural social norms, the laws get limited to mere legal formality. Good introduction. You highlighted the socio-cultural norms. What are the social cultural issues which is creating the permissible environment? You have highlighted it. Male entitlement, patriarchal mindset, self-limiting mindset. But your third point, I'm not able to understand. Think manager, think male attitude. Be it culture of sarpanchpati or men dominating the corporate sector shows less acceptance of women as leaders. How this point is connected to sexual harassment, I'm not able to understand. Similarly, women outright financial inclusion. This is the taboo in society regarding women going out for work, as it is limited to lower status of family. Again, this point can be connected with labor force participation, not with the sexual harassment question. Okay. Then religious norms, giving importance to women's sexual purity, protecting family honor over women's safety, suppressing women's voice against crime, that is fine. Solutions you have given in detail. For 15 marker, it is okay. But the question is for 10 marker. 10 marker, this much solution is not required. Your concluding passage can have solution. Right? You have given socializing education, change in the household level, bringing change in syllabus. But this point can be avoided. Religious and community practices. More participation of women in religious and community institutions will dent the patriarchal religious norms. Example, Sabarimala judgment by Supreme Court. I would say you can avoid this point. It's still up to your choice. You can avoid this point because, see, when we take religious practices, as per the judgment only, the judges were saying that religious practices, are set of practices where you cannot expect rationality. Where you cannot expect the rationality for every practice going on in the religion. So, more participation of women in religious institutions will dent the patriarchal religious norms. I don't think that is going to happen. Anyhow, I would suggest to avoid this point, but it's up to you. Media, instead of objectifying women, propagate documentary film featuring women empowerment, and you have highlighted the recent Netflix movie also, fine. Your conclusion is also okay. The only point is, in the initial part, you have highlighted 2 points which was not directly the think manager, the women outright financial inclusion. These points were not connected with the sexual harassment. Here you are highlighting the Sabarimala judgment. This point somehow you convert or link it with the sexual harassment. Okay, somewhere you say there should be some reforms in religion, right? So which should encourage, here you have given a point, religious norms, giving importance to women's sexual purity, protecting family honor over women's safety. This point is what you're trying to counter it, right? So reform, social religious reforms is one of the need of the hour for creating an enabling environment for women. Like that you can come up with a point. Sabarimala judgment, there is no direct linkage. That is what I am trying to say here. Then explain the concept of feminization of aging. Examine why elderly women in India suffer from a higher proportion of vulnerabilities compared to men. Easy question. We are going to explain what is feminization of aging. Tell in India what we are experiencing. And you can highlight the sufferings sufferings of the aged women. And compared to men, women, they are facing huge proportion of vulnerabilities. What is it? 10 marker question. So in the conclusion, you can highlight suggestions. All these can be taken to address it. Right? Simple question. Ranjit. So feminization refers to phenomena where women, etc. Okay, introduction is fine. The trend results in more vulnerability because of following reasons. Good, there's a link point. Dependency, you have given fact. Lack of financial independence, again, you are having fact. Widowhood, health issues, right? The vulnerabilities can be addressed through. Okay, you are dividing it into two subheadings, it is fine. Such 10 marker question, the vulnerabilities, the addressing part, the solution part, you can combine with conclusion. Nothing wrong in that. But anyhow, economic empowerment, healthcare, community engagement, tech interventions. Right? So again, with conclusion also, you have given a fact. So that is also good. Your answer is neat. Discuss the significance of fiscal consolidation in India and analyze the challenges involved in its implementation. Again, many students fail to attempt this question properly. Here, you are going to start with what is fiscal consolidation, and you are going to explain what is the significance, why we have to go for fiscal consolidation. So, given the situation our debt is more, interest payment is more, crowding out effect, all those you are going to write. Then analyze the challenges involved in its implementation. What are the challenges? When we know that fiscal consolidation is important, government also will know that it is very important, that our fiscal deficit should not increase. But still, there are some challenges. Highlight the challenges. For example, climate change, COVID, supply chain disruption caused by world wars. Right? So, highlight then our population, inequality, poverty, corruption. All those you highlight. It's because of all these reasons we are not able to implement it, analyze those issues. But many students, see, in the editorial discussion, I explained in a particular narration, but you are going to answer based on the demand of the question. Keep that in mind. Understand the demand and then you write the answer. Please mention your name while submitting the answer. So here, the policy measures that aims, okay, what is fiscal consolidation? It is important. So you have also highlighted the significance of fiscal consolidation. Significant point is also fine, good. High fiscal deficit, what it will cause, fiscal consolidation, high interest payments. You have mentioned about the government, this will help in creating proper assets. Okay, but helps government investing more on capital expenditure by realizing more assets and efficient public spending. This point can be slightly improved. Okay, by fiscal consolidation doesn't mean that our expense will go on capital expenditure. It is not like that. If you want to highlight and say that we have to reduce the revenue deficit and what are we borrow that can be used for capital expenditure, then it is fine. The third point has an issue. Right? So good fiscal deficit can boost foreign investors' confidence. Great. Fiscal consolidation also help in sustaining debt levels. All other points are fine except third point. Then, what are the challenges? Great. You have mentioned about COVID pandemic, tax to GDP ratio. So our tax collection is relatively less because only 1.5% of the total population is paying income tax. So that issue you have highlighted. Right. And huge pressure on social spending. See, government poverty is high, inequality is high. We have to come up with social welfare schemes. So that cannot be compromised. That is another challenge. Right. Agriculture, fertilizer, energy subsidies. Okay, if government is cutting down all the subsidies, that can trigger instability, protests. Right. So pension, government has, of course, now government is going towards a new pension policy. But however, there are a lot of commitments from the government side to give significant amount of money for pensions. Right. And external shocks, that external shocks is also going to cause huge damage, government spending, government's borrowing. So conclusion, hmm, Careful planning and fiscal discipline are crucial for our country, which is yet to achieve developed nation by. Careful planning and fiscal discipline are crucial for our country, which is yet to be achieved for a developed nation by 2047. I'm not able to understand this point. We can finish it with here. Or for a country to achieve a developed nation status, it is very imperative to achieve fiscal consolidation as the earliest. Something like that you could have concluded. The remaining points are fine. Right, you have given a decent answer, but many students have failed to address this question properly. Right, friends? I hope you got some clarity on the questions asked. So all the 4 questions I have discussed in a single video. So you will have only one video today. Tomorrow you will not find any video. Right, friends? I hope our efforts are adding value in your preparation, and thanks for all your Teachers' Day wishes. So I will see you on Monday with another interesting editorial topic. Till then, bye. Take care.